Great. Another video game movie. You know what? I want to believe that we can make a good video game movie in one day. Not just something that's entertaining but bad, like Mortal Kombat. Like something that is legitimately good. Hitman Agent 47 is not that movie. Not even close. Hitman Agent 47 is a reboot from the first Hitman movie from 2007 and is based on the video game series of the same name. The plot to this one is... That's actually a damn good question. What was the plot to this movie? You know what? I could read what it is on IMDb or Rotten Tomatoes. You know what? I'm going to do that because I have no idea what the plot to this movie is. It's hard to describe it. I'm just going to read it on IMDb. According to IMDb, an assassin teams up with a woman to help her find her father and uncover the mysteries of her ancestry. That's probably a better summary than what I could give, because really the plot is damn near impossible to follow. There is no plot to this movie at all. Like, you are constantly confused, you have no idea what's going on, and the whole time you're like, who wrote this? But then it's revealed during the credits, oh, this is written by Skip Woods. Don't know who Skip Woods is? Well, maybe these movies will ring a bell. The original Hitman from 2007, A Good Day to Die Hard, and X-Men Origins Wolverine. Yes, he wrote all of those turds, and now this one. So next to Aaron Kruger, who wrote the last 3 Transformers movies, Skip Woods is one of the worst screenwriters working today. And it just clearly shows in this whole movie. Like, the writing in this movie is its biggest flaw. It's absolutely awful. Characters switch sides at a moment's notice. There are plot twists like every other scene that don't feel organic at all. They just feel like something that is an attempt to make the audience go, oh, I did not see that coming. But for me, it's just like, yeah, this is really stupid and distracting. Stop it and just tell a coherent story, which you are unable to do, apparently, Skip Woods. And the dialogue ranges from bad to extremely cliched one-liners that I thought died out in the last decade. Like, let me read an example of the brilliant dialogue in this movie. You're in the room with me and I'm holding the gun. No. You're in the room with me, and you brought my gun. Huh? It's like, okay, that's terrible. That is absolutely terrible. This is the kind of dialogue that's too bad even for a low-rate Stallone or Schwarzenegger movie from the 80s. It is just absolutely dreadful. Awful. Okay, enough dogpiling on Skip Woods and the writing and dialogue. What else is there in the movie? Well, we have the actors. Most of them, all of them are pretty terrible. The main guy who plays Agent 47, Rupert Friend, is awful in this movie. He's very monotone, he doesn't emote, he is just very cliched, and I understand that, like, for this movie in particular, he's not supposed to emote, but it just, the way he's directed makes it come across as really unconvincing and just boring. The main girl in the movie, played by Hannah Ware, and let me say this, there are no really recognizable actors in this movie, save for one, but even then he's not a huge star. Anyway, Hannah Ware is awful also. Like, at some point in the movie, she's crying, she's very emotional, she's confused on what's going on. The other moment, she's like Hitman, very monotone, emotionless, just completely inorganic to her character and what they set up. Probably the only actor in the movie that actually tries, even though he's still not very good, is Zachary Quinto, who's Spock in the newer Star Trek films. And for some reason, they made him more emotionless, more Vulcan, I should say, than he ever was in the Star Trek films. And Zachary Quinto has done good things in the past. He's done a lot of great projects in the past. But Hitman, really? This is what you decide to do? Getting back to the Hitman, the main character, Agent 47, like, he is in the same movie one of the best and one of the worst assassins out there, because, like, yeah, sure, he hits all his targets and is practically unstoppable, but he takes his time with all this shit. Like, he'll slowly pull his guns out to do this, he'll spin around and do ballerina-like moves when he's shooting his enemies from the sky, and he walks everywhere he goes, even when he's in a hurry to get to his target. He walks, so that way the target has enough time to get out. He's pretty much like Jason, except he doesn't get to the target until, shit, I don't know how long. A long time, I'll say that. And then, in terms of, like, shooting people, the action scenes are boring. They are not spectacular at all. They're poorly edited, so you can't tell what's going on. They utilize a lot of slow-mo and a lot of, as I mentioned before, ballerina-type moves where the characters are sliding with their knees. There's a lot of stupid, cliched reloading of the gun. There's one action scene in particular, which is the best one in the movie, but it's ruined because the whole time there's this strobing light effect that goes on. And it nearly made me sick. Those strobing lights were so distracting that I had to look down at the seat just so I wouldn't get a seizure. I was just like, I can't take this. When is this going to stop? And then a lot of other people at my screening were doing the same thing because it was just terrible. It was absolutely an awful way to shoot an action scene. There are a lot of problems with this movie, but I think probably the biggest, well, there are two really big sins. The two biggest sins are, one, it tries to set up a sequel. Like, there's a plot line that's introduced in, like, the first 30 minutes of the movie, and then, like, an hour later at the very end, this thing rears its ugly head again, and you're like, oh, wait till the next movie to see what happens next. And I'm like, no, that's not going to happen. There's not going to be another Hitman movie, sorry to say, because I doubt this movie's going to do very well. And then the biggest crime of the movie is that it is just way too serious. This is a problem that I've heard with the first Hitman movie. It's that it has a lot of these goofy, cliched moments, but it takes itself seriously. I mentioned this when comparing Batman and Robin to Fantastic Four, which one I'd rather watch. And I'd rather watch Batman and Robin because at least you can enjoy the campy quality of it. Whereas Fantastic Four just takes itself way too seriously, and it's almost depressing. And this is the same way. It's so serious in what it's trying to do that it just comes off as downright boring. Like, if they wanted to really make this an entertaining movie, they should have taken notes from some stuff like Commando and the two Crank movies, mainly High Voltage. Like, they embrace the goofiness and end up being not fantastic movies or even great movies, but they are entertaining movies, and I love them for that. The best thing I could say about this movie is it was not like with Fantastic Four or Pixels, where I'm just like, oh god, I can't stand this movie, just get me the fuck out this theater. I was just watching it going, yeah, okay, what's gonna happen next? Oh, yep, saw that coming. Okay, let's see what's gonna happen here. Yep, called it. And let's see, we end right here. Boom, nailed it. So it was just so predictable that I couldn't get angry, which is probably the most positive thing I can say. And it's a pure backhanded compliment. But after seeing two movies that just almost melted my brain, Pixels and Fantastic Four, I was so happy to see a shitty movie that didn't do that. So I'm just going to say, don't waste your money, all that. If you catch it on TV, it's gonna be fine, I guess. You'll watch it for a few minutes and go, okay, this is crappy. What else is on? Ooh, Better Call Saul. And I'm actually glad that I'm recording this review right now because, like, I keep forgetting the movie as time goes on. And shit, what were we talking about? Oh, Hitman Agent 47. Okay. Thank you, YouTube title. So that's my review for Hitman Agent 47. Now, before I go, I already mentioned that I have my official website, but now I am on SoundCloud. I will go back to doing these podcasts, Rooftop Chats, and What's Up Florida very soon, at least before the year ends. But until then, you can go check out my SoundCloud channel. Type in Mr. Alexander Robinson, because apparently the real Mr. Robinson was taken. I will find you! But there's a little introductory piece of audio there, including the raw audio from the very first episode of Rooftop Chat that came out almost a full year ago. Wow. So you can get all the info there, and don't forget to check out my official website, therealmrrobinson.com. And as always, leave a comment and tell me what you thought of the movie. If you've seen it, what did you think? Like, subscribe, share me with your friends. And this is The Real Mr. Robinson telling you there is only one.